What's up, everybody, and welcome to my Impact Wrestling review. A lot of things happening on the show tonight, as we are pretty much weeks away from Slammiversary. Once again, like I said in the last video, I hope this is the last week of tapings in Orlando, because this Impact Zone sucks a lot of the times. But kicking off the show, we kicked it off with, for some reason, Moose entering some arena in Philadelphia, and I'm gonna get to that later on. But when Grado was gonna come out, he had Katarina, or pretty much Winter, that was in TNA at one point in time, come out as Grado made his entrance. Eddie Edwards came out and took a kendo stick and pretty much hit Grado with it, and then he threatened Katarina, I get her name wrong, and pretty much put the kendo stick to her throat, told her to get the hell out of the ring then, pretty much threatening to hit her with the kendo stick next. I tell you, but they got this weird thing with, I don't know, with Eddie Edwards half the time, with hitting people with kendo sticks now. Some people think he keeps threatening women too much, actually hitting his wife and threatening to beat up 2 women in Ohio, and now threatening another one. But it's Eddie Edwards. He tried to be as crazy as he could and talked about that, everybody saw it last week. He had Sami Callihan beaten and bloody. He was going to kill Sami Callihan and end him once and for all, but Tommy Dreamer was in the way of it. And pretty much, talked about how everybody loves Dreamer, but he was going to expose Tommy Dreamer tonight. He told him to get his fat ass out here as Tommy Dreamer came to the ring, which, it's kind of funny. I saw this guy on Lucha Underground literally the night before on Wednesday, but Tommy Dreamer came out and pretty much told Eddie Edwards that you need to calm down. As Eddie said, he was going to hold the show hostage. He was going to take over everything, and that Dreamer ruined all of it. As Tommy Dreamer pretty much told Eddie, you're going to make the biggest mistake of your life. He says, you didn't want to beat him. Because he didn't want to beat him. He has to kill him. That's the only way to make it right, he says. And he says, Dreamer pretty much wants, I knows how it feels to have friends that can't wrestle anymore after the age of 50, and talk about brain damage and CTE, and that these issues were never discussed in the back of the day, trying to put some realism into it. But he says, I've obsessed over a man before and I've almost lost everything. But Eddie Edwards pretty much went on to tell Dream that, it didn't make him, the man he is today. And, next thing you know, he has, like Eddie's trying to cry. He says, why won't Dreamer let him kill Sami Callihan? And Dreamer told him, you have all the talent of the world to become the world champion around here. But if you focus on this one man trying to kill him, you never will be. As Eddie says, I have to kill him so him and Alicia can ride off into the sunset. But Eddie said that she won't return any of his calls, and Dreamer says, I know she hasn't returned your calls. How do you know that, huh? And actually, Eddie gangs up on Dreamer there until Dreamer pushed him to the ground. He tried to help him, but Eddie hit him with in the head with a kendo stick then, and just kind of left it and says, I didn't mean to do it, he made me do it. And some people chanted, why? Listen, this whole thing gets crazier and crazier every week with Eddie Edwards, trying to make him as crazy as possible, okay? This guy he really wants to murder Callihan, murder him, dead murder. And, Cal's never talking about this whole Red X guy, and stuff every week. This is the guy you need to worry about, because he wants to kill anything that comes in sight. Listen, this whole feud with Callihan, I'll admit, did start good, but it is kind of gotten a little bit all over the place at some points with Eddie Edwards. I didn't mind the Woods match last week, even though it was crazy, but they tried to get through it somehow. But what are we going to see? A match with Tommy Dreamer versus Eddie Edwards now, so he can beat Dreamer so he can get to Sami Callihan? And Dreamer's pissed in the back and yelling at Scott D'Amore, and he says fucking bullshit. And he says, I'm not even on the contract talent. I got hit in the head. And D'Amore said, we got a plan, and Dreamer told him to keep him in check, and he just accused him of kissing his ass, and D'Amore's trying to deal with him, and Dreamer says, I'm going home, I'm not dealing with this bullshit. So after that argue with Scott D'Amore, Don Callis and Josh Matthews were hyping up the rest of the show. Tonight is going to be Kiera Hogan versus Tessa Blanchard tonight in a no DQ match. Before we kind of moved on, Rebel made her return back to the Impact Zone again. Rebel has been in and out of the company several times. I don't know why they just don't sign her. She wants to be there, but you know. I'm not sure where this is gonna go, but Rebel, I don't know. I'm trying to make good at this. She's good, but she's not good to say. Listen, I know people go back to that match with Shelly Martinez when they did that. What was it called? That knockouts thing they did, little one night only pay-per-views and stuff. And yes, that match was very bad. Rebel is not bad, and she really wants to be good, but it's just some of it is really kind of bad some of the time. And I know Taya, she went against Taya, and Taya had to carry her throughout the whole match, it looked like. But I don't know, man. I do believe she still needs some. I still think she needs some work a lot, but she has been around this company in and out. I know she's done some other independent promotions, but I don't know, man. She's I don't know, man. She still needs a little bit more work in the ring. Then pretty much after Taya went with the roll to Valhalla, and Taya push has been kind of cold recently. And talked about Lucha Royalty, and that Madison reign was, back and back and everything. And told the crowd give her applause because the next week or whatever, it's going to be that Lucha Royalty. It's going to be Knockouts Royalty. So I guess that'll end up in a match. They played a match, once again, one of these GWN matches. I believe it was Unbreakable 2005 with AJ Styles, Christopher Daniels, and Samoa Joe. Moving on, we all know who won that match. Mackenzie Mitchell interviewed Matt Sydal backstage as he was going against an effing machine. Yes, he's a giant, but Sydal said he had true strength to face Brian Cage for the X Division title tonight. Sami Callihan, which is still alive, him and the Chris brothers, they're all alive. Callahan's face was all messed up, but he said that they still taking over everything as Eddie Edwards was losing everything, and that he's going to take on El Hijo de Fantasma and everything. He said that it's going to be for Ohio, by Ohio, everything. Cult of Lee, Trevor Lee and Caleb Conley went against Cam and Follow Bob, which this match was kind of mostly about Cam and Follow Bob, which they don't really do now with Trevor Lee and them that much. They really need to do something more. And I've seen this guy's work and talk a lot on the indie scene, and he's really good, and they need to push him somewhere. And I have Caleb Conley follow him around. They did win the match beating Cam and Follow Bob, but the story was on them as Bob pushed KM after the match. I said as KM pushed Bob to the ground after the match. Then I don't know if they're gonna break him up soon or anything, but we'll see where this keeps going. But they still need to do something with Trevor Lee. Probably one of the best things on the show was LAX, as they were all in the back playing cards and everything and sitting around. Eddie Kingston pretty much said he's got something next week, a tag team title shot. And as he poured some Patron for everybody, Diamante was just reluctant, not wanting to join along as they did a toast. But after they did the toast, Diamante pretty much drink cuz literally no problem, as everybody kind of choked on Nate Tequila. She pretty much caught everybody lightweights and just took the shot and ran off as they kind of went after her then. But pretty much Eddie Kingston kind of looked around, and he just kind of took look at a picture. Or was it Cesar Chavez, I think it was, of a boxer, and pretty much sat down. He said, "The world is mine." Like he's now taking all over LAX. Diamante mostly pretty much does not trust Eddie Kingston. If you look, as she keeps staring at him, knowing this guy can't be trusted. LAX don't really. The rest of them, Santana Ortiz, are kind of oblivious to it, but he got them a tag team title shot, so he knows he's doing good for them. But pretty much now, Eddie Kingston is the new Jefe right now. He's the new Jefe right now since Conan has been taken out. But I am interested to see where this keeps going. Now, one thing that they hyped up last week, and you think this will be the main event, it's Moose versus Eddie Edwards for I'm sorry I say Eddie Edwards again, versus Eli Drake for a title shot at Slammiversary. Why the fuck is this from the House of Hardcore footage? Listen, I know Tommy Dreamer has a partnership with them, but why are we showing footage of a match you could have done on TV? Listen, this match was heavily edited, of course. It wasn't a bad match and anything, but this match could have been done in the Impact Zone, or at least you could have waited till the next set of tapings, okay? And then Moose winning the match is just kind of weird because Moose is just so damaged. Why should I believe anything this guy does facing Austin Aries for the World Heavyweight title in the main event of Slammiversary? That doesn't make sense. I don't know. I hope they make this a triple threat or something, but the fact that the match was in somewhere, was in Philly, I think it was, where they did this match, and they did it there, and it's rough, some edits, and Moose winning is just very weird. I don't understand that. Next was Tessa Blanchard versus Kiera Hogan in a no DQ match. It was a really good match, I will admit that. Weird thing that the referee keeps trying to hold back Tessa Blanchard at that time when the chair got involved, and for some reason the ref stopped as she pushed the ref to the ground, and then Kiera Hogan came back and pretty much knocked her and into the chair. It pretty much kicked her in the face saying "stupid bitch," and pretty much did a bulldog onto the chair then, but it didn't work. She tried to get it again, but Tessa Blanchard countered here with a full Nelson flatliner on the chair for the win. So it was actually a good brawl out there with these two. Pretty much brawl out there with these two. Tessa getting the win after that loss to Madison Rayne. Kiera Hogan pretty much trying to give her some fight out there. I will say that, and maybe these two will face again, but they didn't make Tessa Blanchard look dominant throughout the match, and it was really good. So I actually did enjoy this one. Next, they went to, I think, Petey Williams and Sajay Dutt pretty much still arguing over the whole Red X thing. I think it was a video package about that. Next, it was Jake Crist versus El Hijo de Fantasma, which match didn't go on that long. Pretty much, Fantasma hit a roll-up. King Cuerno there for the win. But pretty much after that, the rest of OVE came out and attacked El Hijo de Fantasma. But then next thing you know, the Lucha Underground champion came out, Pentagon Jr., which I don't know why this guy doesn't have. If you want to do a match, why don't you just make a rematch of Slammiversary? Pentagon Jr. versus Austin Aries for the world title. Now, let's make that a great match again, and we'll see how that goes, okay? That's what you should have done. I would have been fine with that. But I don't know what they're doing with Pentagon Jr. I don't know why this guy doesn't have a rematch. And then he took out rest OVE and pretty much did his whole Sierra Medio thing, and Callahan got out of the ring then. Hey, it's like I said, it's funny because most of these guys were on Lucha Underground the night before in Aztec Warfare, and Pentagon is the champion right now, and King Cuerno was in it too, and Callahan or Jeremiah Crane. But why doesn't this man have a rematch after he was kicked in the nuts and pretty much Aries cheated to win? So automatically Pentagon Jr. should have a rematch for the title. So why do they have him going into OVE now? I don't understand where they're going with this. But like I said, you see a lot of these Impact guys on Lucha Underground. I'm surprised Jesse Garland's on Lucha Underground too. That was kind of surprising to see. But Pentagon Jr. should really have a title rematch for the title. I'll say that. Matt Sydal went against Brian Cage for the X Division Championship. Wasn't a bad match or anything until the finish. Because Cage pretty much hit that F5 and that wasn't F5 out of F5, but he was knocked him outside of the ring. And then Congo Kong and Jimmy Jacobs are right there. And as they're on the outside, him and Cage and Congo Kong had a stare down and pretty much threw Sydal back in the ring, but Kong pretty much threw Cage to the steel steps, which ended in a count out. So the whole winning streak for Cage was over, and Cage didn't know what to do as Matt Sydal got out of the ring and pretty much got out of there. So I don't know. I'm surprised he actually lost right now. I guess it's a match between Cage and Congo Kong. Listen, I have at least he didn't win the X Division title, because that would have already looked odd enough with him winning it. But was this overbooked in a way? Somewhat, but I don't know why he lost, or he could have attacked him before the match even happened. But that was kind of odd. And then next thing you know, they go back to the Red X thing, which Petey Williams was holding X, and foul balls on the ground, and everybody started to blame Petey. Sanjay Dutt walked in there then and blamed him, and until some police officer pretty much put Petey Williams in handcuffs and took him away, and he's asked for help. He says, Sanjay, you know my wife and kids, and as he's being pulled away, and I don't know if anybody saw this. I can see if you pulled him into a hallway or something, but he didn't pull him that far, but near the door. Next thing you know, the cop pretty much starts beating the shit out of Petey Williams with a kendo stick and beating the hell out of him. And I didn't know, first off, I didn't know who this guy was. I don't know what he does or where he's from. You know, you said that Petey Williams should be under arrest for the crimes he should have committed. And as he laid out Petey Williams with the nightstick, he pretty much held up the red X and said somebody should call the police. I found out the guy's name is Kevin Cross. I don't know much about him. They say he was like in the dark matches for Lucha Underground, and he was part of that GFW Amp. So I don't know. The guy looks like a dominant force and really intimidating. He did beat the shit out of Petey Williams. So he is the red X attacker this whole time. So I don't know where this is going to go. I don't know much about this guy. We'll see what happens. I don't know. I heard he was good. I haven't really seen any other matches of his. So, you know, Jerry's out on him. You know, I'm going to give it a chance, see where this goes with him being a red X attacker since he took out Petey Williams. But, you know, at least we now know who attacked the red X, because I didn't know who it was going to be. And I thought they were going to wait till Slammiversary to actually, you know, unveil the attacker of who has been beating up everybody. But yes, the guy's name is Kevin Cross. I guess we'll find out more about him next week or something. But he did, like, you know, like I said, he did kick the shit out of him. Big dude, so we'll see where this goes. But I'm getting this off right here from my Impact Wrestling review. Comment, subscribe, tell me what you think about the show and everything. It's been a lot going down, especially this week, E3. A lot of things coming down this weekend from Money in the Bank and NXT TakeOver Chicago. Mostly have live reactions and stuff for that. But I'm out of here. I will see you guys later. Peace out.